At this hour, I'm Christina Owayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court sending a harsh message to the Democrat-led counties in Pennsylvania that publicly admitted to defying the state's high court order. The court previously ruled that mail-in and absentee ballots that have missing or incorrect dates or signatures cannot be counted in the election. However, Bucks County commissioners said they were going to count them anyway. Now, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court declared again in capitalized and bold-faced letters that illegal ballots cannot be counted. The ruling comes as a $1 million recount is underway due to a state law that triggers an automatic recount if a candidate's margin of victory is less than 0.5% of the total votes cast. Dave McCormick and the RNC filed an emergency petition with the state Supreme Court to prevent the counties from defying the court order and counting the illegal ballots. President Donald Trump has confirmed that he is planning to declare a national emergency and use the U.S. military to carry out mass deportations of illegal migrants. In a Truth Social post, Trump quoted Tom Fitton, who said Trump was, quote, prepared to declare a national emergency and will use military assets to reverse the Biden invasion through a mass deportation program. Trump shared the post with the caption, "True." Many experts believe that upwards of 20 million illegal migrants have entered the country since the start of the Biden-Harris administration. According to the FBI, 600 suspected members of the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua are operating in the United States, including 100 that are recommended to be on the FBI's most wanted list. In addition, DHS confirmed that more than 400,000 illegal migrants with criminal records are roaming free in the country, including 13,000 who have been convicted of murder. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is pushing forward with the construction of the historic border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border, saying he is adding even more miles of barrier to deter and repel illegal immigration. Governor Abbott posting the video to his X page, highlighting the Lone Star State's effort to hold the line while open border policies of the Biden-Harris administration allowed tens of millions of illegals to cross the border. Since the launch of Operation Lone Star, the multi-agency effort has led to more than 523,000 illegal migrant apprehensions and more than 47,800 criminal arrests, with more than 41,300 felony charges. The former roommate of the illegal migrant that is on trial for the brutal killing of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley admitted in court that the pair got to Athens, Georgia, thanks to a humanitarian flight out of New York City. Rosabelle Flores Bello, who said she lived with Jose Ibarra and two other men, said they requested a flight from the Roosevelt Hotel in Manhattan, a taxpayer-funded migrant shelter in New York. The flight was then issued as part of the reticketing center that was set up in 2023. Governor Gavin Newsom and the state of California have no idea where $24 billion in taxpayer money went, according to a new audit by the state auditor. The money was supposed to be spent on addressing the homelessness crisis in the state over the last 5 years, but records were not kept. What's worse is the fact that homelessness actually increased by 50% since 2019 to a whopping 181,000 people, meaning California spent the equivalent of about $160,000 per person over the last 5 years just to make the problem worse. According to the audit, California's homelessness policies are one of the issues, especially because the state failed to track their spending and the outcomes of that spending. Governor Newsom recently moved into a $9.6 million home. Senator Rick Scott is demanding an investigation into Joe Biden engaging in what's known as burrowing to derail President Donald Trump's agenda when he takes office. Scott posting to X that Biden has been converting political appointees into non-political permanent positions and giving them substantial raises. In one case, one person received an $80,000 a year pay raise. Scott demanding information on each of the individuals that are burrowing into the upcoming administration, saying that they haven't received any details since June 30th. He says the information is imperative in making sure the federal workforce is free from partisanship, citing the case of Leandra English, who burrowed from the Obama administration, then sued Trump. Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy protection and will attempt to reboot as it struggles to recover from the pandemic-caused disruption in travel and a failed attempt to sell the airline to JetBlue. Spirit is the biggest U.S. budget airline. It has lost more than $2.5 billion since the start of 2020 and faces looming debt payments payments totaling more than $1 billion over the next year. Spirit says it expects to operate as normal as it works its way through a prearranged Chapter 11 bankruptcy process, and that customers can continue to book and fly without interruption. Iran is hitting back after several media outlets reported that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei is in a coma and allegedly named his son Mojtaba Khamenei as his successor. According to Israeli news, the reports came after the Ayatollah's son, Mojtaba, was chosen during a secret meeting back in September, with the assembly facing major pressure to unanimously approve Mojtaba, with alleged threats from Khamenei's representatives. And while Ayatollah Khamenei named his son his successor, it wasn't because he's close to death. In fact, a recently shared photo on his X account shows him talking to the ambassador of Iran in Lebanon at noon on Sunday in Tehran. The Iran International reported that a successor was identified because of the risk of assassination the supreme leader faces, but not because of his health. That's what you need to know at this hour. In Dallas, Christina Owayo, Salem News Channel.